Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to introduce again Dr. Shankar sir, who has been given a great presentation on the day one of our FDP. With all his expertise, he has given a great presentation as well as he has utilized the exact time to give the insights. Now I request Dr. Shankar sir to present the next session. So thank you for joining us. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Shankar sir for this presentation. Thank you all.
Yeah, good evening, Ganesh. Good evening, all the
Good evening, sir.
participants. Let me first share my screen. Let me see that. Yeah, is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir. Your PPT is visible.
So I am also audible, right?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Just a minute, let me set up because I just. Yeah, is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
So my voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, good evening to all of you who are presented here. And I again, thanks Dr. Ganesh for inviting me to deliver this lecture. I was rushing through. I was somewhere in the meeting, so I could not, back within. I'm late by 1 or 2 minutes. Excuse for that. Now, without much further wasting the time, today topic is automation-driven payment evaluation and data collection for developing optimized maintenance strategies. I don't know why you have given this title, this much of these things, but it is a don't worry about it. I'll try to consolidate it. I'll try to give you the best whatever that I can give you. Okay. So now I just want a few questions from the participants quickly before I start. Can anyone tell me what is it you are expecting? Please, so that I'll try to frame my, flow in such a way at least to meet the needs of the audience. I request 1 or 2, 3, Dr. Ganesh, please, you can also tell to the participants what is that they are expected.
Yes, I request participants so that they can unmute
Yeah, 1 or
themselves
2
or they can
participants
post on the
can
chat.
please give us your research scholar or working engineers or research or faculty, even maybe. I request you please kindly give your input. How many are there, Ganesh? Participants, how many are there?
We have 92 participants.
92 participants, yes. Sir, any one of you, please, feel free.
Please, dear participants, feel free to ask, feel free to give your expectations to sir.
Yeah, this is only for my understanding to channelize my flow. Autonomous vehicle detect and respond to the traffic signals. Sorry, sir. This is my out of the scope. Don't mind otherwise. What are the new innovative materials used in payments? Okay. Okay. Somebody is asking what are the new innovative material to be used. So I'll try to talk on that.
sound again. Sir, strategy means maintenance means have any chart, sir, before preparation of any for month wise or year wise, sir?
Okay. Okay. You mean to talk you want me to talk about the maintenance part, right?
Maintenance, sir.
Yeah, right, sir. Definitely, I'll touch upon it. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
By chance, anyone who was attending who knows to me earlier? Any participant, faculty member, researchers, industry people who have listened to me earlier?
Myself, sir, Pratap Reddy.
Pratap Reddy. You are from, sir?
I actually worked in Guru Nanak Engineering College.
Oh,
Recently,
right.
recently joined as a part-time research scholar under your department, sir.
Okay, right. Good. Ganapati Maharaj. Somebody said, yes, sir. Okay. I'm sorry if I forgotten you. Please excuse me. This A.V. Subramaniam, sir, you are a field engineer or working faculty?
Sir, I am retired superintendent engineer, sir. You have visited our work in Repale, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
Coir geotextile, right?
Sir?
Geotextile.
Geotextile work, sir. And we have also taken up the cement stabilized road also. But
Yeah, sir. I remember wherever I go, whenever I teach something, that your photographs are there in my slides.
Sir, there are two Subramanian, sir. One is D, myself is E, sir. I worked there.
Acha. Okay, sir. Nice, sir. Nice. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other PhD students? Okay, anyhow.
Probably the data may help us in creating better roads in future.
Okay, sir. Right. Thank you all of you. Thank you. Let us start the presentation. Hope my presentation visible to Ganesh clearly.
Yes, sir. Clearly it is.
Yeah. Could you explain significance of roughness measurement in pavement evaluation, sir? Okay, I'll try, sir. I'll try my level best, whatever I can cover it. So once again, welcome to all of you to this online Atal online 6-day faculty development program. And now I'll be speaking another 1 hour 15 minutes, because I'll take 10 to 15 minutes about the question and answers. I'll be talking on the automation. Automation is a one big word. I'll be talking on the payment evaluation. This is another area. I'll be talking on the data collection technologies. This is another area. I'll be talking on the maintenance strategies, which itself will take about the 1 semester to teach to the postgraduate level or undergraduate level, the maintenance, payment maintenance or highway maintenance part alone itself. But anyhow, I have planned my lecture in this way. So I'll try to give you a background of these things and the purpose of what is the payment evaluation, what are the payment evaluation techniques, what is the methods available, followed by the discussions. If possible, I'll try to show some photographs, some case studies, how the maintenance is carried out and all those things. I don't know whether I'm able to cover within a given frame time or not. Dr. Ganesh, you please alert me after the completion of 1 hour 10 minutes or 1 hour 15 minutes, so that we'll take the question and answers, not speaking only from one side, from my side, one-way topic. So I request you please maintain the time of that. Now, so this is the background of the presentation, sir. For background, purpose of payment evaluation techniques, and those things. Okay. So before I move to the next slide, yeah, look at this photograph. And again, let me give you the preamble of the this lecture. Sir, India is the second largest country, as I told you in the last lecture. We must be very proud that We are having around 6.32 million kilometer of the road network as on today in the country. And this 6.32 million kilometer of which my rural roads, I said, is 80%. And remaining are national highways, state highways, expressways, other category of roads. My national highways, my state highway contributes on 2% and 3% respectively. And look at these photographs. So this is the one highway. I think it looks to the from Telangana to the Maharashtra border. I think somebody borrowed from somewhere this. And this right side picture is about the during my visit I have taken to the taken from the Khammam district on the rural road part. Now, if I ask you, what is the condition of this road? What is the condition of this road? What is your feeling? So somebody says that this road is very beautiful, sir, very good. This road is very badly deteriorated, and you have a rutting, you have a patching, and all those things. Okay. Now let us also move further. Now look at this photograph. This is again a left wheel path here. This is also a left wheel path on the rural roads. So this is the vehicle which I was traveling. I have taken from the vehicle of these pictures. Now, in your opinion, what could be the reason for such a kind of a condition, such a kind of a failure of these roads? What would be the possible solution or what the possible problem for this kind of situations in the country? Or do we need to blame the contractor? Or do we need to blame the engineer? Or do we need to blame the department? Or do we need to blame the quality of the construction or execution of the work? We do not know. By simply seeing at these photographs, you cannot come to any conclusions. Only conclusion is that, yeah, there is a huge rutting on the left wheel path. There is stripping is there, raveling is there, cracking is there. This kind of distresses are there. Okay. Now I wanted to ask you a question. What is the condition of this road? If you take out of 100%, look at here. Here it is damaged. Here it is damaged. Here it is damaged. If you look after from this point, this side, the road looks good. Till this person is standing, the road looks good. No issue about it. But only at this point of time. Now whether the road is good or bad, how do you say that? So we will discuss about that. Now look at these pictures. These are the pictures from the high volume road, National Highway. I have taken this picture on the NH7 while traveling to the Bangalore. Can anybody tell me what is the problem in the left picture? What is the problem in the right picture? What is your observation from this? Sir, I'm the person with, I don't want to the one-way traffic. I request you humbly, please let us have a two-way traffic, even though it is an online. You are free to speak, free to share your idea, your thoughts. Idea is idea, question is question, answer is answer. There is nothing like a very excellent question, very wrong question, or very excellent answer. Nothing like that. Question is question, answer is answer. Yeah, rutting and raveling. Very good. Very good. Then my question comes, which kind of rutting it is? Is it a subgrade rutting or is it a mixed rutting? In this picture, is it in a subgrade rutting or a mixed rutting?
Mix.
Only sublayer lotting.
Only
Sublayer lotting. Yeah.
You mean to say subgrade rutting, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, by the by, may I know how do you say somebody saying mixed rutting? Okay. How do you identify whether this is a subgrade rutting, whether it's a mixed rutting by looking at the picture?
Because it looks that is not only extended to the required depth. We know the
Okay, you mean to say that that a deflection ball is not too high, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, deflection ball is not too much height, so that it's only confined to the, with a very narrow, it may be confined to the only mixed rating, not to the subgrade rating. So we can evidence from this that it is not the problem of the lower layers, it is the only problem of your mix. That is a mixed rating only. Okay, so there are two important criteria which we need to consider as far as IRC 37/2018 is concerned. One is the vertical compressive stress or strain on the top of the subgrade. Second one is the horizontal tensile strain or stress at the bottom of your bituminous layer. So these two things need to be kept in the minimized, so that these two performance criteria can be minimized. Now that's all. Now what about your observation on the right side pick? Whatever your observation on the right side pick, is it good or bad? Is there an issue? Any answer, please?
Much
It's a bad.
bleeding has been done.
Rameshwar
Much
Tota
bleeding.
says it's a bad. Yeah,
Much
somebody's
bleeding.
telling something, please.
There might be less quantity of bitumen in the mixed proportion.
Okay, there may be, we want to say that there is a less quantity of bitumen in this. Okay, right? Good observation. Any other?
Insufficient bleeding of the bitumen.
Sufficient bleeding of the bitumen. There is no bitumen, sir. Then where is the question of bleeding?
Insufficient. Not sufficient. Insufficient.
Insufficient of bitumen. Okay. Any other? Yeah. You're all right. You're all right, but not exactly the thing. Improper laying or something. Somebody saying, sir, when I was, it is little difficult for anyone by looking at photograph and try to identify what is the problem. When I was there on the site, so I just get down. This photo is just taken before the toll plaza. So I could see that this is this surface you can see particularly, this is a too much polished. I put some water and I try to apply, see the vehicle brake. So it is very smooth, became very smooth. Friction is lost and aggregate became too smooth on this. So that is happened due to the insufficient bitumen or a raveling or those things. So this is the things. Now, why I'm showing this picture is, this problem is different. This problem is different. Now, how to bring back these two roads to the original condition? Now, this need to be scarified till your bituminous layer, or if it required till the DBM layer, you relay or overlay it is. Whereas in this case, payment is very intact, the riding quality is very bad. In the last, you can apply a thin film of micro surfacing or a chip seal or thin overlay or film of 1 mm or 2 mm, what it may be. You can restore the what is called your friction properties, your riding quality, and all those things. Okay, that's what I wanted to. I have seen from the seen of this. So we'll see as we go along. How do you quantify now? So I wanted to ask you. Look at this. At this position, from this picture, your boss, or as a researcher, or as a working engineer, somebody interested that, sir, whether this pavement surface is a rough surface or a smooth surface. If you ask me, I will say very smooth. If I ask you, you will say very rough. If somebody asks you, no, it is a very medium. Somebody says, no, it is fine for me. Lot of subjectivity is there. So how do you prove this? Whether it is smooth or whether it is in a rough? Is there any thumb rule? Is there any way? Is there any mechanism? Is there any field, kind of in a situation that where we can say that, yeah, this is what because of smooth, this is what because of rough? Any idea, sir? Hope my question is clear to all of you. Any idea? Yeah. I'll tell you a small clue for you. Rough index. Okay. I'll tell you a small clue to you. The clue is whenever you get any doubt, because ultimately you and me, we need to convince to the normal or a common man or your client. So what you do is take a known quantity of 100 grams of sand. Sand means very fine sand, very fine sand. Take a 100 grams of fine sand, put it here on the top of the surface. You try to do a chapati. Very nicely, you try to do a chapati. When you do a chapati after this like this, the diameter is going to be increased. Okay. If it is in a rougher pavement surface, this sand particle will go and sit there. Okay. Now, once the chapati is made to the diameter, whatever you wish, you take back the sand. I'm sure out of 100 grams, even you will not be able to take only 10 grams if it is too much of roughness, too much of voids are there. That shows that that's a rough pavement. If it is a smooth pavement, then like your bench, your glass is there, your bench is there. You put 100 grams on the glass, you make a chapati, sufficient diameter, you take back everything, you can take it. That means that is smooth. Too smooth also is danger, too rough also is dangerous. So we will see how do you quantify that. So simplest thumb rule is that perform a sand test and is confirm that this is a rough pavement, this is a smooth pavement. That is the one of the things which I am doing wherever I go. Okay, so those are the things. Now, why I'm telling this is, I said a payment evaluation. What do you mean by payment evaluation? So the classical definition of the payment, these are my words, sir. I have not taken from many things. Whatever I'm presenting, whatever my words, these are my own sentences. And some of the photographs I borrowed from the internet. So payment evaluation is process to determine the state of the art of the health condition of the payment. It is a process to determine the state of the art of the health condition of the payment. What purpose? The purpose is to determine the maintenance and extend the life of the payment. So the payment evaluation definition is, there are many kind of many definition across the world, across the different researchers, but primarily it is the to determine the state of the art of the health condition of the payment for the purpose of deciding the what kind of maintenance has to be done, so that maintenance will try to extend the life of the payment. That's what the truth. That's what the truth. Wherever you, any books you read it, anything you read it, this is the moral lines. The language may be different, but this is the truth. So by the by, how do you define a truth, sir? What is truth? Can anybody tell me what is truth actually? What is truth? I'm putting a question straight away. What is truth? How do you define a truth? No answers? So I'll give you a classical definition of mine. Okay. So I'm asking 3 questions at least to react to these questions. So what is this? This is a pen. Am I right? Truth corresponds to the reality and facts. Then my question starts again. What is reality? In which context? Yes. What is reality? What is fact? All this come into the picture. But I'm giving an answer. You need not to follow to me. And I said that I don't say that this is the correct only. You can debate with me, but I'm asking, what is this? Pen. Is it visible to all of you? What I'm trying to show in my hand? This is pen. I'm asking with this hand, this is what I'm asking. Somebody said it's a pen. Now I'm asking with this hand, what is this? This is pen. Now I'm sitting in my room. I'll go out of my room and I will ask someone, what is this? Still it is pen. And I'll go to from here somewhere and I'll ask, what is this? Hyderabad, and I'll ask, what is this? Pen. Go to the United States of America, what is this? Someone, what is this? This is a pen. So what is happening here, sir, is truth is the one which will not change with the time, location, and individuals. That is the truth. Truth is the one which will not change with the time, with the individual, and with the location. If it is changing, it is not a truth. That's what I perceive. That's what in my perspective, truth, that's what I define. So what I'm telling is, you look up any code of practices, ASTO, European Union, ASTM, IRC, guidelines, mode, anything. The purpose is the payment evaluation purpose is to determine the state of the art of the health condition for the purpose of deciding the maintenance. Once you decide the maintenance, that maintenance is going to extend the life of the payment. That is what the purpose of the payment evaluation, these things. Now, just now I asked you a question before first when I'm trying to do, I have shown you some photographs. Now, if somebody asks you, please go to the site, evaluate these sections, try to find out what is the reason or what is a problem for such a poor performance. So one should ask these questions with you. The questions are, how and against what criteria I should evaluate it. Okay, how is the payment performing? And what are the materials and their conditions? Are there any surprises? Sometimes engineers, all researchers use a exact quality of the material, gradation, quantity, water, cement. But when you take a core, your core says something, your truth is something. Whom to blame? What is the problems? Why these problems have come? What are the problems below? What are the issues? If that is the issue, are we trying to address the real problems? Are we trying to address the real problems? I don't know. If you are trying to realize the problem, we are trying for the best M&R actions for the true conditions. So if you are trying to address the real problems, can we afford the best fix now? If at all you want to fix the best fix now, you should also know what is the best and how to fix the best. These are the questions one need to be think of, one need to be asked when you are doing any payment evaluation studies. Okay. Now, to answer these questions, there are some, like if you try to compare a pavement versus the patient, if you try to compare a pavement versus the patient, like you and like a human body. Human being is a physical structure. Pavement is also a physical structure. Pavement deteriorates due to the traffic. Human being or patient health deteriorates due to the lack of care, and this care leads to lack of care and illness. So when you get an illness, you go to the doctor. Doctor will look at you. He will ask you some questions. What did you eat yesterday? What was the problem? He will make these things. He'll give some tablet. He'll use some methods, and he'll try to diagnose and say he used this tablet. Same way, if at all your payment fails, it shows it shows the failure in the form of the modes of distress. The distresses in the form of cracking, patching, pothole, raveling. Whenever these modes of distress are shown, we have to use our tools, the tools like payment evaluation techniques. Using these techniques, you assess what was the problem for causing such kind of a rutting, such kind of a cracking. Once the problem is assessed, once the distresses are identified, now you try to diagnose and try to formulate the payment, maintenance, or rehabilitation treatment options. So, sir, entirely if you look at the payment engineering part, or broadly I can say the payment management system. So the payment management system comprises of your planning activity, your design activity, your construction activity, your evaluation activity, research activity, feedback, and goes on these things. So if you look at any literature or anything, there are basically these are the methods that is available. So the payment evaluation rightly can be carried out in a two-way. One is the functional evaluation, second one is the structural evaluation. Of course, there is also a third category which is called a safety evaluation. But what I feel is safety evaluation is an integral part of the functional evaluation. So if it comes to the functional evaluation, somebody was asking in the initial of the classes, could you kindly talk about your roughness part? Yes, sir. So in a functional part, we talk about the present serviceability index, that is the serviceability concepts, payment roughness measurements, as well as the skid resistance measurements. When you look at the payment evaluation, the second category called a structured evaluation, we have within a structured evaluation, destructive testing and the non-destructive testing. Nobody wants to today, even a child don't want to be there in the mother womb for a 9 months. So he or she want to come out with like a premature baby. So nobody wanted to have any destructive kind of any test. Everybody want one click answer or take a photograph or take some rays and those things and let me know what is happening in payment. I want immediately this kind of a. So on this category, we have a destructive testing, we have a non-destructive testing. If your destructive testings are there for flexible and rigid payments, non-destructive testing like static rip deflection methods, steady state deflection methods, wave propagations, impulsive loading like your falling wave deflectometer, etc. So these are the different kind of techniques, different kind of methods that are available for payment evaluation, etc. and all those things. Of course, it is very difficult for me to go through each and every part of this. I'll try to give any glimpses of this. Okay. So basically in functional evaluation, what we will try to do is we will try to address what are the surface characteristics of a payment. That is a longitudinal evenness, that is in terms of the smoothness or rutting or skid resistance or rutting and cracking. And also, once if you know this, based upon this, intervention and its type is decided. When it comes to the structure evaluation part, we will be basically talking about the what are the various layers they presented, what are the layer thicknesses, what are the material properties in terms of your soil liquid limit or plastic limits or your modulus values or your UCS values, your CBR values, or your whatever the characterization is there, their strength parameters. Once based upon your layer thickness and all these things, strength is determined, you can try to estimate what would be the next step is what would be the remaining service life of this payment. Okay, so based upon the remaining service life of this payment, you can try to estimate or you can try to decide whether is a rehabilitation option is gone for a good or for a strengthening of the payment is good. So this kind of intervention you can decide. So in functional evaluation, mostly the cheapest, the best, cheap and best and usually followed kind of a method is that visual condition survey. So this visual condition survey is that. So you have a sometime for a small agencies like a PR department, CPW department. This visual condition survey sometimes it is a standalone procedure for decision making because the simplest way. So the only thing is you require a manpower and a wisdom of your payment evaluation, knowledge of the payment evaluation. So take your take a piece of paper, try to make a format it, walk along the road, try to record the what are the different kind of distresses are there. Okay, and record those distresses and try to say that some statistical part, some simple kind of a mathematical part, and say whether it is a good payment or a bad payment or a poor payment or a fair payment, what kind of maintenance is required. So for this, I have taken from the so-called at least 2 trained people for recording the payment distresses, and distress information may be carried out viewing the payment surface, or you can travel in your own vehicle, slow moving vehicle, by walking and try to read the payment of the things. So I was also mentioning other day, and now you can see there are about 22 types of the payment distresses that exist in a flexible payment. You can see all this type of distresses: raveling, pocket holes, potholes, disintegration, joint cracking, wheel path rutting, alligator cracking. So these 22 type of distresses are there that present in the a flexible payment. So we need to quantify all those things. Once you quantify, go to the payment section, quantify it, you can see in case of a descriptive rating of the payment conditions in terms of good, fair and bad are usually used. So there are good is there, fair is there, bad is there. So payment, if you say that payment section is requires no, good means this payment section requires no intervention for them. If it is a fair, we need to decide some kind of a maintenance and rehabilitation of the surface layer. Please remember here, it is the maintenance and rehabilitation of the surface layer only, not regarding to the granular layers. And you have a bad structurally. If it is structurally failed, it requires a rehabilitation of bituminous layers or even the reconstruction of your entire payment structure. I always tell to my student or engineers, reconstruction should not be an option for any engineers. It is as good as like constructing a new payment. Reconstruction is not at all recommended at any point of time. So, sir, there is an ASTM code of practice is there, ASTM D64331 is there, which talks about the payment condition index. This says that payment condition greater than 85 is a good, and you can see these ratings. One can follow this rating, and you can correspondingly good or satisfactory, fair, poor, very poor, or serious. It means it is in the ICU, and this is in the post-mortem room. So this is what I feel. If it is 09, we need to have post-mortem. PCI is serious is ICU. This is simply very poor. So if you have a poor, we can try to build up this. So this kind of a simplest kind of a technique is available for estimating the functional condition of the road. Then this is the first option. This is the first kind of a method that what we have for a small road agency who can easily use this kind of an sorry. Who can use this kind of a scaling and try to estimate. Now the second one. So let me tell you this. Whatever we are enjoying today, the concept of payment engineering concept or payment performance concept, all these concepts are developed and borrowed from somewhere, mostly from the ASHO road test. That is American Association of State Highway Transport Official. Earlier, we used to call it an ASTO. Now we are ASHO. Now they also added a term called ASTO. So they, prior to that, means prior to the 1960, no accepted definition for the performance. What do you mean by performance? Nobody has any definite answer for it. Nobody has any criteria for it. So what is that criteria is? Now, the moment you say the performance, it may be a rutting performance, it may be a fatigue performance, it may be a durability performance, or it may be no material specific material kind of a performance characterizations on all those things. So what these people have done is they wanted to get the condition of their payments. So what they said, let us say evaluate today panel rating. What is the panel rating is that? They have taken from the starting from the 7th class student, 10th class boy, intermediate boy, degree boy, auto driver, two-wheeler, bus driver, professional driver, academician, engineer, variety kind of people they have selected. And they have given a one particular form. Okay. And for somebody, they given some kind of a vehicle. And they asked you, you please travel on this road. At the speed of the desired speed you want, you travel it and try to rate it. Whether this payment is a good payment or a bad payment or a poor payment. The surface rating quality. So this is what they called as an IPSR. That is individual payment serviceability rating. IPSR. Now, the mean of this, the mean of the all the different variety of the people, they call it an PSI, present serviceability index. Present serviceability index. So what is the present serviceability index is? So you can see this is the kind of a test track they have constructed. Okay, huge test track. So this is a test. This is a flexible payment. Somewhere pre-tested concrete. Somewhere the rigid payment. Somewhere the rigid payment. Somewhere the different things. And not only that, they have employed this kind of a vehicles. You can see a front axle, load axle, gross weight. So you can have a simple vehicles, and you can see have a big vehicles, and you can see the gross weight of the vehicles are there. So they are simply took these vehicles. Their job is keep on maintain the speed and go, and they are trying to capture the data. So and these people we have truck drivers, professional drivers. They are given these things. They estimated simplest called a present serviceability index. So this is what the term that I used is in individual IPSR. The mean of the value is the present serviceability index, and they said that this is what the format. You can see here. Section identification. What is the rater, date, time, which type of vehicle they are used it. And this is the 5 scale they are used it. 0 to 5. 0 to 1 is poor, 1 to 2 is poor, 2 to 3 is fair. For a high volume road, minimum value is 3. For the low volume road, minimum value is 3. And this kind of model they have developed it. Now you can see here, present serviceability index is a 5.03 minus 1.91 log plus 1 plus slope variance minus run depth minus 0.01 is under root of cracking plus patching. The first equation for the flexible payment, second equation for the rigid payment. Once you estimate the day, once you get this data, try to put in this equation, you will get the present serviceability index of this payment. This is what the second method of these things. But again, the most important thing all of you remember is that there is a lot of subjectivities there in this, even though they are trying to consider the statistics on those part, but there is a still there is a subjectivity in this method. So in order to counter this subjectivity, in order to measure these things, they have brought another kind of a concept which is called a roughness measurement. Objectively measurement of the roughness of the payment surface. So now let me show you. This is what a typical payment section contains. So you have a carriageway, you have a left wheel path, we have a right wheel path, we have a polishing, we have a patching, we have a wheel tracking rutting, we have a potholes, we have a block cracking, all this. So literally you have to walk on this payment and you have to quantify this kind of a payment distances that is present, which we have learned in your undergraduate level, your post-graduation levels. So if at all somebody wanted to establish your panel, your own panel in your organization, one has to follow these steps. What are the steps? One should establish the definitions. Before you start the game, rule must be very perfect. Once the game is started, you cannot change the rules of the game. So one should know the clear-cut definitions. One should know the rating panel. They have to train them. They have to select the payment sections. They have to go to the field rating. They have to move the replications, validity, physical measurements, summarize. And this is what the step-by-step procedure that is self-explanatory. You can go through the later and try to find out what is the establishment of definitions, precise meanings, terms, what is to be rated, what is to be included, what is to be excluded, what are the divergent views, how to train them. So all these things you need to train, and end of the day, use these equations and try to estimate this. So this is what the development of your present serviceability index and equation. I'm not going to the derivation part of this or this, but the only thing is you are requested, you need to use this equation and try to find out for flexible payment. Before using for a local condition, one can calibrate your, if you have a data, you can calibrate your local condition and you can modify this equation. If nothing is available, straight away use this data and try to find out the what is the present condition of the payment sections. So this part I'm not bothered for your things. Now the question comes is roughness. Roughness background or roughness. How do you measure a roughness? What is roughness actually? Okay, so because why roughness is very important is that a lot of road agencies invest millions and millions and billions of the dollars annually measuring the physical condition of their highways or their local street or urban roads and all those things, because roughness is the one the road user is very important. More the rougher pavement, more the noise, more the wear and tear. Not only the more the wear and tear, more discomfort to the public, more discomfort to the individual. So we need to provide a very good roughness of payments. So such measurements which are used for such measurements, they are used for the repair and the reconstructions. So are the correct factors being measured? How do physical measurements correspond to the public perception? How do the physical? Now I said earlier there are two methods. One is visual condition survey. Second one is the present serviceability index. So these two things are most subjectivity. Now these are the physically. How do you try to correlate your physical measurements correspond to your public perception, which is the very biggest challenge for any researchers. So these measurements, as I said, the measurement used for the computing PSI includes the distance data. It is the longitudinal profile or the roughness data provides the major correlation correspond to the roughness of the data. Okay. So why is it important to assess the roughness and the friction? So these pictures tell you in the olden days, in the 1940s, 1930s, 1950s, in the Indus civilizations or in 1940 sometime, these are the kind of the roads that we have. These are the kind of the vehicles that we have. But no more such kind of vehicles, no more such kind of a payment references today. If this is the kind of a thing, we are just, this causes a very discomfort. It causes a very bad to the vehicle part of those things. So it affects both the functional as well as the performance of the payments, which I don't want to compromise on. So if the roughness leads to the increase in your vehicle operating cost, your user delay, your accidents, and your user dissatisfaction. Okay, vehicle operation cost, I have a lot of money, I can spend it, not an issue. User delay, so instead of going for a 9 o'clock to the office, I'll go by 9:30, not a heaven will not fall. But this is more danger. If some accident happens, if there is some fatal accidents, there is a loss of life, who is going to be account for that? And for that matter, you and me should not be a responsible person for this. 0% you should make a design fault or this kind of things. So user dissatisfaction. So friction losses leads to the increase in wet weather conditions. And recall that there was a time when road users were satisfied with paved surface mean. Golden days in my name, when I was in a childhood, I was very much happy with a water-bound macadam road, which is the most predominant kind of a road that has been constructed. Okay, but today, no, it's not like that. So I'll not go into much of the things. So you can see now what is roughness? How do you define a roughness? So roughness is it is in a perfect planar surface actually, perfect planar surface, true planar surface, with a characteristic dimension that affects the riding quality. I think I have a picture. Let me show you that one. So lack of roughness, free for bumps. Sir, what kind of surface it is? It is a very rough surface. We want this kind of surface. We want this kind of surface. So this is very rough, I know. And this is what the people are targeting for the today. So lack of roughness, free for bumps and dips that causes the discomfort to the traveling public. Reduce the vehicle operation cost and less tire and wear, comfort, safety, and reduce the payment maintenance. So lack of smoothness leads to this kind of problems, which is very, I'm interested for this. Now you should ask yourself a question. You should look up these two photographs. What is this smooth riding quality and how can a smooth be measured? How can we distinguish between the different levels of the smoothness? And what is the appropriate level of riding quality for various classes of road? Do the acceptable levels vary with the payment type and the method of construction? So I think these are the 4 questions which you need to be asked yourself. Look at this photograph. This looks me very little smooth. It looks me very rough. You see the part almost raveling. Riding quality is affected here. Here riding quality is fine. So what is smooth? That is the most important thing now. So forget about this. Forget about this. What are the methods are? So can you name this profile, sir? Have you seen? Now whatever I'm the photograph that I'm showing here, whatever the photograph I'm showing here, these two photographs has these two photographs have this kind of profiles. What are these? A, B, C, D, E, F. Can somebody name what are these profiles? Answer is there on the slide. Okay. So you say that it looks like in your ECG, it looks like you are in these things. So this is what A means. This A. This is what I wanted, a perfect planar surface. Perfect planar surface. This is what perfect planar surface. But we don't get a perfect planar surface. We also get a rougher pavement. That's what your microstructure. And your C correspond to your macrostructure. Your D correspond to your megastructure. Your E correspond to your uneveness of the pavement surface. Can anybody tell me what is F? What is F? Any answers? What is the F? Sir, you know the answer. Please respond somewhere. What is the F?
Profile roughness.
Pardon?
Profile.
Yeah, it is a vertical profile. It is a vertical profile. It is a vertical profile. You are right. It is a vertical profile. Okay. So, olden days, if you see how do you measure the roughness is using this old kind of your dumpy level, your rail level, your stops and all those things. So payment surface is this. Where is the height? Where is the stay? Line of sight is this. This kind of situation is there. So if you try to analyze the road pavement surface, the bituminous pavement surface. So you can see here, you have a positive texture, you have a negative texture. In your positive texture, you have a micro texture, you have a macro texture. So micro texture is this. So this micro texture or macro texture is characterized in terms of a term called a lambda. So lambda up to 0.5 mm, lambda up to 0.5 mm is a microstructure. Macrostructure is 0.5 to 50 mm, 0.1 to 20 mm is a micro, and mega profile pavement surface is like this. So if you look at here, what exactly the microstructure, what exactly the macrostructures. So you can see a aggregate will have a different pores. The aggregate will have a different shape. The aggregate will have different these things. So this is what we are trying to make it we call it a microstructure. Whereas this is what I try to call as with respect to the pavement surface, this is what the things I'm trying to call as a macrostructure. So this is what macro texture in your typical asphalt pavement surface course. So this is the kind of a surface that we encounter. But most of the time A is perfectly missing. We will not able to quantify, we will not be able to narrate the macro, but your unevenness, your vertical profile can easily be measured. That's what your roughness whatever this kind of a measurement are there. Now, what are the different type of the measuring roughness? So there are the different type of methods are there, sir. You have a direct method, indirect, class 1, class 2, all those things. I'll show you some of the photographs. So the class 1 is traditional rod and level and using a dipstick methods. Class 2 is about profilometers, and class 3 is about the responsive type road roughness measuring devices, which you all aware. And predominantly we use called your old way of measuring a bump integrator or your automatic road analyzer or laser type for a roughness or your ROMDOS. ROMDOS stands for roughness measuring using a data acquisition system, or your simplest equipment, which is called a Merlin machine for evaluating low cost instrumentation. So these are the class 3 kind of categories now, predominantly used in saving the time, accuracy, precision, and the technology point of view, these things. So this is the classification. We can see what are the different type of the reference measuring device and all those things. So what this concept actually, what exactly this reference concept is, it has come from the quarter car model. It's from the quarter car model. Why it is called quarter car model? It means I am trying to take out the one part of the wheel, and they are trying to simulate this type of things. So you have a pavement surface, you have a tire spring, you have an unsprung mass, you have a suspension of springs, and you have a sprung masses there. So how this is the simulating to the field. That's what they call is a quarter car model, which is a very big explanation, and derivation is required for you, not required, but it's based upon the concept of your quarter car model concepts. Okay, so I'll just go through the quick things. Now, what we will get? What we will get from the roughness, all the things we are trying to do is, I need to find out what is the roughness of the pavement and convert into your IRA. Your IRA is International Roughness Index. So you can ask me, sir, why it is not called a National Roughness Index? Why it is called an International Roughness Index? Yes, sir, it is an International Roughness Index because there are variety kind of methods, techniques, equipments available across the globe. Telangana have his own way of measuring the roughness. Andhra Pradesh has got own way of measuring the roughness. Uttar Pradesh has own way of measuring the roughness. But tomorrow, what is a common scale? So that's why different equipment will give in a different kind of values. So all these values are tried to simulate at a quarter car model. Quarter car model is the model which is in a fictitious imaginary vehicle and fictitious surface, which is called in a standard, called in a designed. That is what we are trying to make. They're trying to convert into the International Roughness Index kind of things. So this International Roughness Index, a lot of World Bank studies has been conducted by the Brazil and all those people, and they developed in this concept. I'll show you that concept what exactly. Now you can see here. One side you have a IRI, that is the International Roughness Index. One side you have got a Transportation Research Record Laboratory Bump Integrator Index. One side you have a quarter car index. One side you have got a present serviceability index. You have a good road, you have a good unpaved road, you have a poor paved road, you have a poor unpaved road. Now you can see till this serial number 6 up to 6, I can say it is a good road. So you can see IRI 0, IRI 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 6. I'm classifying as in a good. If it's in a BI, mm per kilometer, 4,400 to the 7,700 to the 4,700. If the quarter car, this is a number. Now you can see your PSI. I said that minimum is 3 for high volume road, minimum is 2 for the low volume road. So you can see 6. IRI 6 means payment condition is 1.7. 5 means 2. 4 means 2.4. 3 means this 3. 2 means 3.5. Again, this roughness value, IRA value, it varies with respect to the type of the bituminous surface that has been awarded, that has been constructed. There are the code of practices available on that. So what exactly this numbers indicate is that if the range of the roughness is up to 2.5, 2.5 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8.5, 8.5, 13.5, and so on. and you can see the normal operating speed. If it is up to 2.5, 120 kilometer above, you can travel. If it's 2.5 to 4, 120. If it is 16.5 to 120, 35 and down. And you look at one best condition, up to 2.5 to 120 and above. Excellent profile usually found in the case of the runway payments. 4 to 6, 95 to 85 kilometer per hour. Good surface, good riding quality. Undulations about 3 to 5 mm, 1.5 meters frequency, and so on, so on, so. Now you go back, you can see here, your PSI 2 means, 2.5 to 2. This is what a good surface. So this is the kind of a thing that we need to be assured with respect to the relations to the roughness measurements. Now, sir, all these things, all these methods, what are the listed? I have listed all these things. These are manually time consumed, very tedious, operating procedures, man-made, all those things. Now, thanks to the technology today, this is what right now, the technology that is available in the market. Okay, so there is called an ARAN, automatic road analyzer. There is automatic road analyzer. In India, we are calling it as a network survey vehicle. I think I have a photo. Yeah, you can see this. Okay, this is what your automatic road analyzer. This is what the kind of an equipment that we are having today. Roughness and distance data. This is what your somebody is calling in a Ramdas road roughness measurement using a data acquisition system. Somebody is in an NSV, network survey vehicle. Somebody is a ARN, etc., etc., etc. Now, this, I think, to the best of my knowledge, this equipment costing around not less than anywhere minimum 5 CR to the 4 CR to the 5 CR. Now, this vehicle has got an inbuilt measuring roughness. Even it can measure the hairline cracks. It can measure the road asset, road furnitures. You have a 365 DGPS camera. Coordinates it can give you. Skidding, mean texture depth it can give you. It can record the distance data. It can record the your functional data automatically. Hardly per kilometer within a no time, in 1 hour, you can go around the 20, 30, 40 kilometers. You can easily measure. This is the state of the technology knowledge that is available today. But now in some other developed countries, it's mandatory to use. At least now NHAI is deploying this kind of network survey vehicles and try to measure the payment conditions for the purpose of preserving the road network. And now the latest advantage is that suppose, sir, if you wanted to know the thickness of the payment layers, right? There is you have an 800 mm of the payment thickness is there. So you wanted to know without disturbing, without non-destructive testing, without destructing, you want to know the thickness of the payment. So there is one more equipment called something like a GPR, ground penetrating radar. Just scan like a human being, you can scan your bones or body, you scan the payment layers, it will tell you where are the weak parts, where are the corrosion in the concrete pavement, where is the problem of the density, where is the reinforcement is the issue, where is the layer thickness is cutting, where the water pipe is going, where the gas pipeline is going, where is the utility is going, underground utilities, what are there. All this information we can simply view at your fingertips using this kind of a technology. This is what the technology today, these things. Okay. And prior to this, we will be using our standard bump integrator. This is what a fifth wheel bump integrator. Today, hardly nobody using this. Okay. And you have got another kind of an equipment called a dipstick. This is also kind of a dipstick method. So you have a leg here. You have a one leg here, which is fitted to the, we have a leveling here, fitted to the mini computer. And look at this person. So this is the road he is traveling. You have to do is hold this, and look at this. This with respect to the front leg, with respect to that, it's just movement like this. One staggered direction. One movement, second movement. So what is trying to develop is it will try to measure the elevation difference. Okay, this equipment costs around 9 lakhs rupees. But mostly with this is a very dangerous kind of an equipment. You cannot measure more than a 1 kilometer in a day, because huge traffic will be there on the road. Safety is the one of the issue. That's why this equipment predominantly used for a calibration purposes. Okay, so this is the features of this equipment. You can go through this, and this is the simplest kind of equipment called a Merlin machine for evaluating roughness using a low-cost instrumentation. So this costs around 25,000. Each road agencies can be used this comfortably. So it can measure this also again with this. Not more than a 1 kilometer, the 2 kilometer can be measured roughness using this because it has got a practical constraint. What is the practical constraint is that this is the equipment, this is the probe, okay, and this is the weight is here, a counterweight will be here, and you have got a rear foot, you have got a wheel of this with a marking this. So this is what you have a front foot, you have a probe here, you have a rear foot here, 0.9 and 0.9 meter distance, and you have like a cycle, we have handles, and we have a pointer attached to this data sheet. Okay, and you can see this pointer, based upon the type of the payment surface, this works on the basis of mid-chord principle. You can see here mid-chord principle. So if the payment is too deep, you can see this will be going here. If the payment is too up, it will be coming here. So this is what the normal payment will show a data of this. So what we will try to determine is, we try to determine the D value from this. So one can use this equation, IRI is equal to 0.593 plus 0.471 D value. This D value determined from this. So omit the 5% data on the top, omit the 5% in the bar, and take a scale and try to measure what is the D value for this. What is the D value for this? Try to substitute in the equation and you can easily find out what is the IRI. This is the simplest equipment that you can use for the maintenance, but for the function condition of the payments. So this is the data which was used for my PhD studies, sir. So you can see the April 2008, September 2008, 9 pre-monsoon and post-monsoon, how the data variation is taking place, 4.62, 6.48, and even 8.32 is reached. So you have seen earlier, what does the 8.32 means? So this is the data one has to be periodically collected and get for the meaningful. So as I said, we have different type of the surfaces. If you have a surface dressing good, average, poor, surface is less than 3,500, okay, mm per kilometer, open graded premix carpet, mixed scale, semi-dense, bituminous concrete, cement concrete, bituminous concrete less than 2,000, 2,000 to 3,000, greater than 3,000 is poor, that is mm per kilometer, okay. And this is the maximum permitted on the uneven surface for the different kind of a payment surface which was defined by the Indian Road Congress. So this is another kind of an equipment is a roughometer, which can usually fitted to your vehicle at an accelerometer sensor, and you can drive any number of roads at any speed, and you try to measure the roughness data alone, and you try to convert into the IRA value. So these are some of the technologies that is available. Now the question comes is, yes, sir, you have been told that visual condition survey, presence political day, roughness measurement, all those things. What purpose we are doing all these things? You don't have any work? Or what is the logic behind this? We wanted to know. The logic behind this is this, let us say for the time being, selecting an appropriate, timely and combined payment maintenance treatment option. Let us assume you have a structural deterioration, you have environmental cracking, you have a surface wear and tear. What is the kind of a recommended treatment? For example, do you have a structural deterioration? I said no. I don't have any structural deterioration. So omitted out. You have an environmental cracking. What is the extent? Environmental cracking in terms of low, moderate, and high. This low, moderate, high, what is again the surface severity? Low, medium, high. So if you have a no structural deterioration, environmental cracking is low, surface is low, recommended is go for a crack seal. If it is no, if it is a moderate and surface is also moderate, go for a crack seal plus 40 mm overlay. Like this is the end of the day. Somebody is interested, somebody wanted to know it. Any road agencies would like to have these things. So, sir, I think this I would have showed earlier. Why payment typically, what is the reason for the payment deterioration, why payment damage actually? So look at this. You have a native subgrade, you have a sand subbase, you have a gravel subbase, you have an asphalt course, and assume that this is what the pavement destroys because of the moisture, because of the traffic, because of the etc. Parameter finally leads to the this type of a cracking. This is what a fatigue cracking or your alligator cracking. This is also what environmental destroy. Okay, environmental means sun is there, water is there, and all those things. Now let us consider one case. Now this is your pavement cross section. Bitumen is susceptible to the temperature. Assume that there is a cracking. Okay, this crack in the field, this is a crack. So take a scale, width of the crack, length of the crack, you try to measure it. Exactly how this crack will initiate, how the crack will further progress. Now let us see. This has a crack here on the top of the bituminous surface. Assume that there is a water present. Water will go like this. Now the water reached up to the subbase layer. We know that subbase layer acts as a drainage layer. Now, under these circumstances, traffic is moving on this. Now what happens? It gets further deterioration. When it gets the further deterioration, instead of one source, now become the three sources. Now it will become the three sources. What will go? This will become a swimming pool end of the day for me or fishing pond for me on the road. And finally, in the field, this is what the reality. You have a tight cracks, 1/4 inch of the crack initially. I did not worry about it. I waited till this. Here also I did not worry about it. I waited this. End of the day, this has to come to here. So what I wanted to say here is, you can see now, if it is the payment condition, if it is the year of the payment, if I try to identify this point, means first point, this point, if I try to identify this point, I can put this is what payment preservation put things. So what I can do is, you can put a 10 rupees here. If this is the payment you will curve, you can put a 10 rupees here. But what we will do is, we normally avoid. So instead of putting 10 rupees here, we wait till the 100 rupees come to this. Okay, so this 10 rupees, 100 rupees business is very good, very easy. If you have a unit kilometer of road, multiplied with the n number of kilometers, definitely it makes a lot of difference. Okay, so these are the different benefits. Those are the initial investment, extend the life of the payment, like low cycle cost, and all those things. Okay, so let me show you what are some barriers, all those things it is there. And this is the vehicle operation cost as the total life cycle cost analysis, and how the roughness progresses. Okay. Now let me show you some of the payment deterioration example photographs to you. So look at this photograph. Payment is in good condition. Okay, absolutely, you don't have any issues. Now look at initiation of the payment distress crack has been happened. Now, if I can identify this condition through my visual inspection, through these things, definitely if I can take care of it here, it will be worthy. But what will you do? It is further intensifying, further worsening the conditions. We wait till this point. Vehicle breakdown or somebody fatal accident happened, or somebody, then only, no, we have to do a maintenance, this thing, that thing has happened. But who stopped you at this point of time? Don't know. So this is what the situation, and end of the day, this is what the queue, this is what the delay, this is whatever you talk it, this was the situation. Traffic and the SOM rate, vehicle operation cost very high due to the poor payment conditions. Okay, so what is our payment maintenance strategy for this kind of things? What will you do? You can see how beautifully we do it. Payment allowed to deteriorate to poor condition before maintenance taken up. Now, and the kind of the maintenance that we take up, look at this. I don't know ye kya tarika se karte aur kaun sikhaya in logon ko, who has taught these things, I do not know. And I'm scared to this kind of practices. See the patchwork. Okay. Again, condition of the overlaid without bothering the existing payment conditions. Simply, contractor has came crack developing shortly after overlaying due to the poor condition of the road under the overlay. He did not worry. Inside cancer is there. I'm putting cream outside. What will happen? Nothing will happen. It will further worsen. Now, these are the some of the best practices where the other country people follows. These are not my photographs. I'm sorry. I must acknowledge these people. This is what we are feeling a solution to the crack seal. You see how beautifully crack sealing is done. And listen, what normally people will do, if this is the crack, this is what the practice is usually somebody follows. But this is a bad practice, sir. It should not be like this. Very neatly cut this, fill the material. This is what the good thing. And look at here. This is what the fully mechanized kind of a maintenance treatment options. Fully mechanized kind of a mechanized treatment options. So you can see asphalt, simply sprayed. This is the seal coat, chips coat applying. This is what your single chip seal. This is what your double chip seal. This is what your poor embedment. You need to be to a proper embedment into it. And slurry seal, fully mechanized. And a micro surfacing and slurry seal going together. And you have another kind of an. Now, in India, I always likely make a joke. Whether it is a corona, whether it is a dengue, whether it is a chikungunya, whether it is something else, there is only one costliest treatment. What is that, sir? Anybody have answers? Whether it is a corona, whether it is a dengue, whether it is chikungunya, whether it is a what it may be, there is a one costliest option and solution is there for everyone. What is that? Treatment. Paracetamol. Paracetamol. Similarly in the road also, let whatever may be the condition of the road. I'm not going to worry. I have a solution. What is that? Put a 30 mm overlay. That's come. Job is finished. But that is not always the solution. Look at the cost-effective technologies, cost-effective methods, life treatment option, all those things. We can definitely need to be based upon the payment condition. We have to assess the what kind of a maintenance option these things. This is what your a typical overlay. It is almost a 30 or 40 mm like a new payment strength. It should not be the option at a point of time for every point of time. Need to determine its need and necessity. Okay. Of course, this is a milling kind of a things. Nowadays, the waste materials like reclaimed. This is what your reclaimed asphalt payment. Finds a very good scope. So you can see the existing material will be milled and dumped into the truck and treated it, bring back and lay immediately as these things. Now I said reflective cracking. How reflective cracks happens? This is the existing crack is there. I don't make any treatment. I'm making an overlay. The day will come. Temperature is there. Sun is there. And this is the reflection cracking. You see how this reflection cracking goes in this way. And this is the crush and solution. If you have a very bad problem of your overlay, your granular layers, still a problem again separate. Thoroughly crush it and shape it and try to lay a new payment surface. Okay. So this is white topping. I'll just rush through. So this is what the type of the flow chart type of the decision tree that you can make for the maintenance purposes. Treatment options are this has been given. This is what the flow chart end up there. Somebody is interested to know about it. Okay. So I'll stop here, sir. This is what I just wanted to thought of sharing with you. So what is the technologies available? Why it is the need of these things? What are the different technologies available? Okay. So now let me stop my presentations. Let me stop my presentation, and I'll be happy to take some questions. I hope I made some sense to the payment evaluation, automation, and the technologies that is available. So Dr. Ganesh, now it is the time I can take few questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the presentation. I
What is
request
the time
participants.
actually? What is the time actually?
It's 8:50. Sorry, the closing time is 9 o'clock, sir.
Okay, right. So I'm there with another 7 minutes, please.
Yes. I request participants to have the question and Q&A session. Sir is open for it. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, in the last third slide, you have explained that a few of the things for the payment, the scrappers are there to collect the topmost layer of the payment.
Sir, your voice is not little clear. Sir, can you put it loud?
Sir, in the last previous slides, you told that few measures there. The topmost layer of the payment was removed with the scrappers like that.
Oh.
Sir, for generally to our visual eye, it was very nice and very smooth when we are traveling in that. What is the need of that type of practice, sir? In which case we consider that practice?
You mean to say milling machine?
No, sir. That previous one, extracting the topmost layer of the payment.
This one, right? Let me share once, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This one?
Yes, sir. This is the
Sir, this is the actually, this is not that the thing. What exactly here is, you can see this portion is they have milled it. This milled it means even this portion is there. They have conducted a survey. Of course, this is not my photograph, but the thing is that the researcher report had taken. They have conducted a survey. They found the payment condition is something bad. Then they wanted to use a same in situ material and same material need to be overlay back. Problem is, this is a distressed payment. This is what we call it a reclaimed asphalt payment, RAP. So they milled it, they treated it, they added some rejuvenator, they added some binder, they bring back again, and this is the base again they are building it. So this is not from the new payment they are scratching it, it is a distressed payment. They are using the same material to lay back overlay again on the same road.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, any other questions?
Sir, there are some questions in the chat box, sir.
Yeah, could you explain how to evaluate the success of a road maintenance? 1 minute, let me see. How evaluate a road maintenance program in a high traffic city? Preventing payment system can request data activation management. Okay, sir. Actually, your questions, Ganapati Maharaj is asked a question. Could you explain how to evaluate the success of road maintenance? Sir, there is actually, I'll give a thought process to you. Imagine you have some number in your hand. Okay, there is this number is in a very poor quality number. Payment condition, let us say 20. Right? Now you have gotten a budget only 100 rupees. Okay, with this 100 rupees, this payment need to be bring back to the original conditions. What are the options that you have? You have option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strategies are there with you. Now, which strategy has to be adopted? That comes the question. So there is nothing like a Gita, there's nothing like in a Quran, Bible or something. No, there as of today in India, such kind of rules are not there, sir. But a guidelines are there. Guidelines are there. How to determine the among the given 5 number of options, fourth option is the best option. On what basis? So that kind of exercise are there to evaluate the material, to evaluate the strategies things. But again, remember here, database is the most important thing. If your data itself is wrong, your decision is wrong. If your data is good, decision is good. So you can, in that way, we have exercise how to determine the how to determine the type of the treatment option on the high volume road or the low volume roads. I hope I answered your questions. Somebody has taken, dear sir, what about this limitations? High initial investment implementing auto division. Yes, sir. It means that what I mean to say, see, I told on the other day lecture that rural roads are meant for rural roads are meant for accessibility and connectivity, whereas my high volume roads are national is meant for a mobility purpose. So here also, because one more thing is this high volume roads have a high income generations, but now today, instead of making any wrong decision within a manual measurements and all those things, people are heavily relying on the technology. Even the cost is very little bit exorbitant, cost is little high also. People are going for a more precise and a more time consuming and the technology driven based kind of a data and these things. Again here, these equipments, this data are the very good one. The advantage is we can build the excellent database in a digital format. So whenever you want, you can pull out the information, you can try to see what is happening. That kind of limitations can be overcome. Okay. And somebody asks, how do you mastic asphalt over checkered plate and crack to joints between RCC and steel structure? I think he's asking about the asphalt over the bridge decks or cracks are the bridges in steel structures. Sorry, sir, that's not my area actually. So I can talk only the asphalt in the flexible pavement surfaces. But yes, mastic asphalt performs better on the bridge decks. Okay. And I have any other questions? Autonomous vehicle and detect, respond to the traffic signals and all those things. Yes. Okay. No questions are there. Mixed rating, all those things are, yeah. Any other questions?
I hope there are no more questions, sir. I think.
Yeah, sir. Let me tell you final conclusions. What happened in the country today? Most of the engineers who I'm not blaming anyone. Don't take otherwise. What are the practices that you are following today in the country? The maintenance part, especially these maintenance part are based upon the either anarchism, either high judgment of the engineers, or based upon the experience of the engineers, but not based upon the scientific data. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. Why so? Why so? Why so means I put in a different way. I put in a different way. So let me pick up somebody here. Is there any research scholar here? Is there any research scholar here? Anybody research scholar? Anybody junior faculty? I mean the assistant professor level. Sir, somebody please. Otherwise, yeah, Divya. Okay, Divya. I would like to please unmute yourself. I would like to ask you 3 questions for the benefit of the audience. You should answer me very honestly and very quickly. Okay.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
there? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Madam, with respect to in the context of the whatever the word I said that maintenance strategies are formulated based upon the anarchism guidelines or experience of the engineers, high judgments of engineers, not based upon the scientific data. In that context, I would like to ask you 3 questions. Why? Then I'll tell you why I asked these questions. Okay, Madam, you are from?
I'm from AP, sir, Guntur.
Okay, so Madam, hope you also gone to the school, LKG, UKG, first class, second class, and you study BTech and MTech, all those things, right? So let me put you 3 first questions to you, and I expect answer from you very quickly and very honestly. Madam, what is the opposite of mother?
Father.
What is the opposite of day?
Night.
What is the opposite of black?
White.
What is the opposite of men?
Woman.
Very good, madam. Thank you very much. Now, same question I am again repeating, madam.
Okay, sir.
Madam, who taught you all this?
Sir,
Who taught you all these answers?
I had basically known, sir, from childhood.
Exactly.
Basically, people.
From the moment we came on this planet and the mother woman went to the school and we started from the LKG first class, our state, father, mother, black, white, all these things we be taught.
Yes, sir.
But nobody taught us, madam. My dear Shankar, father and mother, they are not two opposite, they are complementary each other. Nobody taught me, madam.
Okay.
Day and night, they are not opposite, my dear brother. They are two phases of the day. Nobody taught me, madam.
Yes, sir.
Black and white, they are two distinct colors. They are not opposite. Nobody taught me.
Okay.
Now, what happened is black, white, father, mother, how deeply they are rooted here and sat here. It is not easy to take out in one day. The similar kind of the contest happening in the country right now in the maintenance also. Are yaar kya, why you want to make that much of this one, that one? Why oh Shankar sir ko kuch kaam nahi hai, wo bolta rehta, use network survey vehicle, this equipment, that equipment. I am seeing with my eyes, na. This is rough payment. Chalo kal kar do, kal aake 25 mm, 30 mm do, road ho gaya. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. You know, because the problem is, what I said is, it is fitted here, and it is not possible to change in one night, overnight, one day, 1 month. It takes time. It takes a lot of time, maybe decade, maybe down the line, these things. Okay. Sir, can you suggest any sustainable road maintenance strategy for a... Sir, the moment you talk about the sustainability, it itself is the ocean. Sustainability stands on the 4 pillars. As I told you the other day, economic, environment, material, social. Yes, sir, there are the sustainable way of developing a maintenance strategies. There. Definitely we can make use of it. Please feel free to call me, sir. I'll discuss with you personally. Any other question? I hope I have not bored you.
No, sir, not at all.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Ganesh, if no questions, I once again thank you for your love and affection towards calling me to share my experience on the payment evaluation and automation driven technologies. Not only you, I also personally, my heartfelt thanks to the entire management of the Pace College of Engineering and Technology. And moreover, I thank all the individuals, participants, researchers, industry, academia who are presented here and spent their valuable time and listen to me. You all feel free to contact me, sir, at any point of time. I'm leaving this PPT, these 2 PPT with the organizer. They may share with you. My email is there. I'm available on the email. You can email me. I'll definitely get back to you at whatever I can do for you in your professional lives. So thank you very much. Thank you all for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining this session, sir. We are very honored on behalf of Pace Institute of Technology and Sciences that you are here. That your in-depth knowledge, practical insights, and clear explanations on the concepts was very happy. And all the participants were enlightened. And not to mention, sir, you're a great public speaker. You can inspire many people, actually.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the good words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us, sir.
When this workshop is completing?
Sir, on 8th, sir, 8th, we have a 7 to 7:30 valedictory session. We'll be sending the link to the valedictory session, sir.
Okay,
Kindly join on that thing.
I have a small request
Sir.
to you.
Yes, sir.
If at all any possibility,
Sir.
give me about some 45 minutes of session sometime. I wanted to talk to all the engineers who are presented here in a general topic, something like whatever I told you now. Very, very interesting and very, the young minds who are there here, if they can listen to me for 45 minutes, I'll give one bond paper. By the time they grow to the 30 or 35 to 40 age, they don't get a BP sugar. I'll give you a bond paper. Some kind of a talk on the something like what is your universal human values and what is the role and goal of the education in human life. That way, I think definitely a 45-minute session, if we can give, I'll try to just give them, which will very full if at all possible. Otherwise, please excuse me.
For sure, sir. I'll talk to the team and I'll make the necessary arrangements, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you all.
Dear participants, please fill the feedback.